I know, Gundam The Origin Episode 3 lasts for just over an hour, and yet there are zero Gundam frames in the entire episode. But does that make this episode any less entertaining? Nope, this episode is probably the deepest and most interesting episode so far in the Gundam The Origin series. We get a better understanding of Casval and a better sense of the kind of situation he is in, which leads him to become the iconic Shah. Now, Wikipedia says that the Shah in Gundam Unicorn 96, which I'm currently watching, is not the original Shah, but rather a clone called Full Frontal. Nevertheless, Gundam The Origin provides a much appreciated backstory into the original Shah character, which explains Shah's image and Shah's philosophy, which has projected onto Full Frontal, I should think. So in episode 3 of Gundam The Origin, Casval has left his sister on the Texas colony and is now travelling away along with his quote-unquote twin, Shah. Casval switches places with Shah, Shah is killed, and Casval takes Shah's place in a military academy. All these actions are fueled by revenge, as Casval is pissed off that his parents died because of political reasons, and now Casval wants to defeat the powers that caused all of his misery, I'm guessing. And my goodness, all that vengeance powers Casval along nicely. He does well academically, physically, and mentally, much to the dismay of Garma, another cadet who is the relative of one of the officers in charge of the military academy. I think Casval and Garma become real friends. I think it's not always very crystal clear with Casval, as he is more of an anti-hero than a hero. Casval could be manipulating Garma through fake friendship for whatever reason. Then a Federation ship fucking crashes into a space place and destroys it, which prompts another space colony to want independence from the Federation, even though the initial destruction was the fault of the Federation ship and not the Federation itself. Regardless, shit escalates quickly. There's a battle between the citizens of Zum City who want independence versus the soldiers of the Federation, and many citizens die in the battle. Then Casval sees an opportunity to fight the Federation, and he and Garma lead a battle which successfully defeats the Federation troops. Now, the ending of this episode, or almost towards the end, and I don't want to spoil what Casval does during the final battle if you haven't seen this episode already, but wow, that's some really clever yet brutal stuff. Holy shit, Casval. Holy shit, how could you do such a thing? So yeah, this was a pretty cool episode, which pretty much explains in surprisingly strong detail how Casval became the ultra badass yet devious Shah. This episode could have ended up quite weightless due to it being set in a familiar military backdrop and it being sort of predictable in story, but actually I found this episode to be an exciting character study, as all the things that make Casval become Shah make total sense. I found myself saying things like, so that's why Shah is so superior, and so that's why Shah wears a mask, and so on. I suppose all that was the point of this episode, and with that in mind, this episode succeeded. Once again, the animation from Sunrise was fucking awesome and detailed, and the action in particular was refreshingly clear. I'm not even that bothered that this episode had very little mecha, as this episode was pretty engaging. It was a pretty engaging drama nonetheless. Now let's see if Casval will reunite with his sister, and if Casval will become the ultra badass mecha pilot that we know he'll become.